Hey guys, it's Holly, and today I wanted to talk about some of my LEGO regrets. Now, we all have those things where you might purchase a set, or you might sell a set, or might lose something, and you majorly regret it looking back, or even just a tiny bit. Now, a lot of the things on this list are related to purchases, some of which I just wanted to give a shot and just test out and try out, and they might not have been the best thing, and I definitely could have put that money towards a different set that I think I would have liked more, but I'm still glad that I tried all of this stuff out at the end of the day. But I thought I would kind of give you a breakdown of some of my LEGO regrets, because I know we've all had them. The first and probably biggest one on this list is the LEGO Super Mario Starter Course. Now, I spoke about this a lot in my review, but I bought the set. I wanted to try it out. It was something new that LEGO had never done before. I'm a pretty big fan of specifically Mario Kart, and I do like some of the other Mario games in general. I love Mario Party 8, for example, on my Nintendo Switch. I think it's a lot of fun. However, the starter course, to me, it did feel quite expensive for what it was, and I get that the price is justified because, you know, Mario is a pretty big piece of technology, but to me, it didn't actually feel like a starter course. It felt kind of like an expansion. It wasn't really a course itself, in my opinion. So Mario was pretty cool, and I still think he looks really cool, but I'm not the type of person that's gonna sit down and make a course and kind of play with it. I would probably put it on display or something like that, and as a display piece, it wasn't really that great either compared to some of the other Super Mario sets. I definitely don't think it's a bad theme, but I did not like that set as much as I kind of hoped I did, but I'm still glad I tried it out. Luckily, I did manage to sell it, which was really lucky, but it was a lot of fun for the time I kind of had it, and I'm glad I got to test it out and give it a test run, but yeah, I definitely regret buying that one. The second one on this list is probably the most recent one, and that is the LEGO Minecraft Trading Post. Now, when these came out back in December, I was really excited. Like, I still loved the look of this set, but I regret jumping into it and buying it so quickly because I paid full price for that set. Plus, I think I paid for shipping for both that and the bee farm, which I also regret because in Australia it's like $12 or $15 to get it shipped and things like that, and I just paid way too much for that set. And considering I don't play Minecraft too often, I quite enjoy the game, and I quite enjoy a lot of the characters and the mobs and the villages and things like that. It's definitely not the best set for me, but I still thought it was pretty cool. It definitely looks good, and out of all of the sets on this list, I'm probably going to get some sort of use out of it. But yeah, I definitely regret buying that set, especially when I did, because it just cost me so much for something that I didn't really care too much for. The next one is a LEGO regret that I have talked about on this channel before, and that was the time that I bought almost a dozen of those LEGO ornaments. Now, I bought one and I really liked it, and I wanted to get myself some more, and I found out there was a bunch that were discounted that I could purchase, and without kind of realizing how much they would cost or how many I was actually buying, I bought all of them, and it ended up costing me over $100, and I freaked out and I had a mental breakdown over it because I was just like, I can't spend over $100 on ornaments. Like, that is ridiculous. I did end up keeping quite a few of them, and I did find a use for them, but luckily as well, I did manage to give a few away, and I think I sold some in the end as well, which was really lucky, and that just made me feel a lot better. And I really learnt a lesson about impulse purchasing and really learning what your grand total is and how much you're actually spending that day. So I guess I got a good life lesson out of it, but I definitely regret buying all of them. Next up is yet another impulse purchase. There seems to be a pretty big theme with this video, but that is the 4+ TIE Fighter from LEGO Star Wars. Now, this was a set that was like one of the X-Demo models at the LEGO store, which meant it didn't come with a box, it didn't even come in with instructions, and it was already pre-built. And I think the reason I wanted to get it was because, one, it was kind of on sale, but two, there was like one really cool piece that I liked in that set, and I did like the look at the minifigures, so for that regard, it's not too bad. But the actual build of the set is just, it's so weak, and with most 4+ sets, I'm not going to be able to use most of the pieces, which I think is what kind of annoys me the most. Maybe I'll be able to repurpose a few of them, but for now, I just kind of chucked it into a storage container straight after I bought it and haven't really thought about it since, besides the figures. And now I have an actual TIE Fighter as well, so it makes it even worthless. And yeah, I definitely do regret buying that one, although that printed Death Star tile is still really cool to this day. One Lego regret that I've really thought more about recently, especially every time I walk into my wardrobe and see it, is an entire box of Lego Harry Potter Series 2 minifigures. Now, don't be fooled, everyone. I know we see a lot of people buying like full boxes of things, or if you get sent minifigures, for example, from LAN, typically those people will also get sent a full box, but I guess it's more so for the people who buy a full box. You don't understand what that actually means until you've done it, and I highly recommend just don't do it. It's not worth it. So initially my plan was to buy a full box. That way I wouldn't have to feel through the figures. I'd have an entire set, and then I could open up some duplicates, which I did do. I did end up doing that for Bellatrix and Ginny Weasley and Fred and George, and I think I also did one for Luna and Neville and things like that, which was awesome. And my plan was to keep a full set sealed and then try and sell off the rest. That process has proven to be a lot harder than I initially thought. So now I'm stuck with almost an entire box of Harry Potter minifigures, and that box as well cost, I think it was over $300 for me to get. So I've definitely got, like, I'd say probably $150 to $180 worth of Harry Potter minifigures in my wardrobe, and I'm trying to get rid of them, and part of me is thinking if you just wait a few years, the value might go up, people might want them, might be easier to sell them, and that's what I'm really clinging on to. And I don't think many people have talked about this that have bought full boxes, but yeah, my recommendation is don't do it. It's not worth it. I definitely liked having it, and it was definitely a lot of fun, and it's an experience that I probably won't forget. It was very fun walking kind of out with that giant box along with the other bunch of stuff I ordered from the shop that day. But I'm not going to do that again. Like, just don't do it. It's not worth it. The next one isn't probably as big as a regret as the rest of them, but it's Lego Hidden Side. So I bought 2 of the sets because I just wanted to see what it was like. It was discontinued at that time, so everything was on sale. In fact, one of the sets I bought was 50% off, and I literally bought that just to do a build stream on for Halloween, which was still a lot of fun. But after looking back at it, I'm like, how many of these pieces am I actually going to use? Like, pretty much I just parted them both out, and yeah, they were cool, and the figures were pretty cool, and they weren't as bad as I kind of thought they were going to be. Like, they just went into the part storage, and most of those parts I wouldn't see being way too useful. For example, the red railings, I'm never going to be able to use that. So in that regard, I definitely do regret buying both of those sets. Like, yes, they were discounted. Yeah, they were a lot cheaper than I guess they could have been. But at the same time, that money could have gone towards something else, or I could have put it in my savings or bought a set that I actually would have enjoyed more. But once again, I'm glad I tried it out. But yeah, just not really the smartest purchasing decision, and I didn't really need it. Another small regret that I kind of have is getting the Mandalorian battle pack. Now, I feel like with this one, I pretty much just bought it because I'd never bought a battle pack before, and it was the one that appealed to me the most out of all of the sets on the shelves right now, because believe it or not, the 501st Clone Legion set isn't actually a battle pack, as much as we all like to call it that, and it's probably its kind of given name by the community. It's not a battle pack at the end of the day. Well, I mean, kind of, but also it's not your typical battle pack. You get what I'm saying. Anyway, I bought the Mandalorian battle pack because it definitely looked the coolest, but I looked back at it and I was like, the figures, yeah, they're kind of cool, but like, I don't really care about them, and the builds weren't all that great, and I'm kind of just like, why did I worry so much about this? Like, why did I actively go hunting to try and find this and get so excited? I kind of look back now and I'm like, all right, well, yeah, I do have some pretty cool minifigures to add to my collection and things like that, but the Mandalorian one specifically just feels like a very weird battle pack because they're not really something you can build an army of. Well, I mean, Bo-Katan might fight me with that fact, but that's just kind of how I feel, so I definitely regret buying that one. And lastly, the only Lego regret that wasn't actually a set I bought or kind of a purchasing decision, and that was selling my Lego Pirates of the Caribbean Isla de Muerta. Now, I've talked about this before. Last year, I went and sold a lot of my old Legos so that I could buy new stuff like Lego Star Wars, and that's how I kind of got started in all of that. And one of the sets I sold was my Lego Pirates of the Caribbean Isla de Muerta. Now, I have a really old review of this set on my channel, and looking back, I regret selling it because that set does kind of mean a lot to me now that I've come back to this channel and kind of restarted. But also, I love that Elizabeth Turner figure, and Barbossa as well, and they are quite expensive, and I definitely think I undersold that set as well looking back, which was quite a shame because I think I just kind of wanted to get rid of everything. Maybe one day I'll try and purchase it again or try and get my hands on it again, but I definitely regret selling that set. The Cannibal Escape I also did end up selling, but I don't regret that one as much because the only thing I really cared about in that set was Will Turner, although I do have a lot of fond memories of breaking that set down and rebuilding it and things like that. But the Isla de Muertos specifically, there is a lot of value in that set, and I don't think I really saw it until now, which is such a shame, but I can't really do anything about it, which is a shame. But anyway, guys, those are all of my Lego regrets. Let me know what sets you regret either selling or buying, or just any of your Lego regrets in the comments down below, because we all have them. We just hate to admit it. It's so frustrating, but at the end of the day, what can we do about it? And if you guys enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel down below. And until next time, guys, I'll see you later.